I always want to emphasize the big differences in poverty rates between kids who live with both of their parents, their married parents, and kids who live in a female-headed family. These are huge differences. And in the past, even now to some extent, it's one of the main causes of poverty, and one of the reasons we have so much trouble fighting poverty is because the number of kids in female-headed families, where they're 4 or 5 times more likely to be poor, keeps increasing. So that is a very important thing to keep in mind. Median income also is not completely a bad story. Median income is not a good story, but this is, I think, what some economists might predict, that income is it's going down, and then it's going to level off, and then it's going to go up, and so maybe this is leveling off. It did continue to go down for some groups, but overall income is not a good story, but not a horrible story. I also like to emphasize, this is last year's data. We have one set of data for this year, but I just want to emphasize something that Rich Brookhauser will talk about quite a bit, and maybe some of the other panelists as well. And that is that the picture of poverty that you get from the Census Bureau official poverty rate is flawed in many ways, as everybody knows, and that's why we have a new measure. And by the way, that measure will be out on November 13th. So the Census Bureau is going to do what it did last year, and it's going to publish the supplemental poverty measure again, and they'll do that on November 13th. And that will show what this chart shows. And as you can see, if you look at the mean, if you include a whole set of government benefits, it doesn't have much effect on income. But if you look at the second quintile, so this would be, in the case of single moms, it'd be roughly between $10,000 and $20,000 in income, and then the bottom quintile under $20,000. The solid line is what they get more or less in the state or nature without any government benefits. But if you add the government benefits, their income goes up quite a bit. And this is a very important thing, especially in this town, because we spend a lot of money on means-tested programs. My estimate is we spend at least $1 trillion a year, if you count the state dollars and the federal dollars, on means-tested programs. And they are more or less completely left out of the Census Bureau numbers. So that's a very important story.